look at this word resilience. It's bouncing around the world right now and used continuously, kind of like a ping pong ball, just everywhere. We hear this word resilience. Well, the definition is the ability to overcome, bounce back, or adjust to misfortune or change. I like to break it down even simpler than that and say resilience is the ability to get up after a fall. One day I received a phone call from a woman named Jan, and she said to me, "Roni, would you like to learn how to ski?" Now, I'd wanted to learn how to ski for a long time, but not for the reasons that you might have thought. You see, in my high school, all of the popular kids were skiers. And the reason that we knew they were skiers is because they had lift tickets hanging from their jacket. Now, back in the olden days, our lift tickets were put on our jackets with a wire wicket, which was a U-shaped piece of metal, and then the paper ticket stuck there. So you would run that ticket through the zipper, stick the sticker on, and you were good to go. Now, to be really popular in my school, you didn't just want one lift ticket. You wanted about 20 of those things dangling. You could hear them coming down the hallway because those metal wickets were dangling against each other. And when Jan asked me if I wanted to learn to ski, my first thought was, I'm going to get a lift ticket. I cannot wait to wear my ski jacket to school. We made arrangements to meet up at the mountain, and she showed me how to put on all of my equipment. I had a ski, just like anybody else, and a regular boot. The only adaptive equipment that I used were these things called outriggers, which were kind of like four-arm crutches, but they had a short sawed-off ski tip mounted on the end. And now I said to Jan, "When do I get my lift ticket?" And she stopped what she was doing, and she looked at me and she says, "Roni, you're not going to get a lift ticket today." "What? No lift ticket?" She says, "Yes." "Well, I thought I was here to learn how to ski. What do you mean I'm not going to get a lift ticket?" And she says, "Stop, wait a minute. There's something that's more important than getting a lift ticket." I don't know what that could be, but she went on to say, "First thing you're going to learn is how to fall." I said, "Well, I don't think you know who I am. I am an expert at falling. I don't think I need to be taught that. Give me my lift ticket now." She says, "You don't understand. In skiing, you must learn how to fall safely so that you don't get hurt." She says, "And even more importantly, once you know you can fall without getting hurt, then you will be able to ski much more confidently. And even more important than that is when you fall, you must learn how to get back up." Well, I was so glad that Jan taught me how to fall on that day, because out of everything that we worked on, it was the only thing that I perfected. I fell down and got back up. I fell down and got back up. By the end of the day, I was so tired I could barely even pull myself up. Those outriggers that had been so helpful throughout the day became like skewers that were pinning me to the ground. I began to think about falling, and at what point in our life is it no longer okay to fall? Have you ever noticed the difference between when a child falls and when a grown-up or adult falls? The child, we pick them up as quick as we can, brush off the knee. "Oh, you're going to be just fine. Quit crying. Everything's fine." Kiss the knee, put a Band-Aid on it. They are good to go. Okay, what about when the grown-up falls? "Oh, my goodness, are you okay? Stop. Do we need to call 911? Don't get up. Don't get up. Let's make sure everything is okay. Do you think you have any broken bones?" If there's a property owner in the crowd that gathers, they're shaking in their boots, because they're afraid of getting sued. It's completely different. What's the difference? Well, I tend to think it's maybe the child is closer to the ground, so getting up is just a little bit easier for them. There was a test that was done in 2012 called the Sitting Rising Test, or SRT. In this test, they took 2001 grown-ups, aged 51 to 80, and they made them sit on the floor and then stand back up. And they were given a score of 10 if they could stand back up without using a hand or an elbow or an arm or anything like that. Every extra boost that they used caused the score to go down. And they began to use this score as a measurement of longevity. Now, I'm not suggesting that your ability to get up off the floor from a seated position has anything to do with your success in your business or your success in your life. But I think we can all agree that developing and strengthening our get-up muscles is not just important for getting up off the ground from skiing or getting up off the ground so we can live longer, but learning how to be resilient so that we can get up after a failure, get up after a fall.